What's happening, sports fans? Welcome to an hour of nothing but draft talk. I'm Meatsauce Paul Lambert. That's Eric Nordquist.
Hey.
Max is here. Max should be the happiest guy here because his team did what you do when your team has a quarterback on an expiring contract. You move up in the draft and you take a quarterback. Here are the picks so far. Nordo, we'll get your quick thoughts. The Pittsburgh Steelers had the first overall pick in the second round when they traded Claypool to the Bears. The Bears would have had this pick. This was a bad pick for the Bears, but a good pick for the Steelers. They take Joey Porter Jr., cornerback from Penn State.
Yeah, it's sweet for them. There's the connection. Joey Porter, of course, wins a Super Bowl there, linebacker with the Steelers, and they get the kid. Now, that was part. And as we get into it, we're gonna do the 6 degrees of Jordan Addison and Kwesi and decisions that the Vikings made. But Jerry, he was an idea for the Vikings at 23.
Yeah,
and so the depth of the cornerback class pushing really good, talented players into the second round, and Joey Porter Jr. would be the first example of it. Although Steelers, they were talking about maybe trading that pick, so they stuck around, got the best guy they could.
The Titans came up with Arizona at 33 from 43. They gave up a future third-round pick. They swapped picks in the third round this year. But the Tennessee Titans, you could have said they were going to take him at 11, but they get him at pick 33. They take Will Levis, quarterback out of University of Kentucky. I always say take players from Kentucky, but I mean the basketball team.
Well, Max isn't a big Will Levis fan, so he's kind of down about it.
But
he had to go sometime. I will say, is it fair to have sympathy for Will Levis? A little bit. Okay, so for whatever it is, we talked about it on the radio show last night at the draft party. He puts mayo in his coffee. There's stupid Instagram bits.
Whole. That's
weird. Let's not be a complete.
Wait, he doesn't eat them whole. He eats them with the peel on it.
Yeah,
Somebody
he
else
bites them.
Eats them whole.
Yeah, he bites them.
Yeah.
He's swallowing them whole. That was some
weird.
Sort of circus trick.
Right, yeah.
Or maybe he does.
Yeah, whatever.
We don't know.
Man.
That's an OnlyFans thing. You have to subscribe for that.
Do you, yeah.
I feel bad for him because he's almost a victim of really bad expectations. So when you hire an agent and there's subterfuge and all of those things, the Reddit posts, and suddenly he's a betting favorite. There's all sorts of things that happen in the pre-draft process that will make a player, at least in the opinion of the masses, in the seats of the Coliseum, will ebb and flow. But how in the hell could anybody have seen this coming? And there's just something there from an expectation standpoint and how this whole thing was set up. In the end, none of us know him. Maybe we want him to succeed. Maybe we don't. I look at him as just another guy that was kind of an interesting prospect. He's sitting in the green room all night. He's got his gal on his arm and just sitting there with a poop sandwich face for 4 hours, thinking at some point somebody's going to take me.
Yeah.
This horror show is going to be over. And he just gave up. I don't even think he's
left.
in KC.
He left.
He's done with the whole
Porter
thing.
Both left. 34, the Lions then traded up again. They took Sam Laporta, the tight end from Iowa. Then, of course, because it's a copycat league, my mother-in-law's favorite player went 35th overall as the Raiders moved up, and they took Michael Mayer, the tight end out of Notre Dame. The Los Angeles Rams are currently on the clock. Your Vikings are scheduled to pick at pick 87, but let's get in.
Somewhere in the second period of the Wild game, maybe.
Yeah, and of course, KFAN.com will have it covered. Maybe Nordo and I, after a couple of adult beverages, will maybe make a quick live video of it. Either way, hopefully they take somebody at 87. I think, Nordo, the consensus with us is the only way they're going to get up to get somebody is you got to take a piece that you currently have and move that with a third-round pick because you're not, at this point, leveraging future stuff unless you are going up for a quarterback. And the only quarterback left to go up for is Hendon Hooker, but we'll wait on that because he might go right here to the Los Angeles Rams. But here we are, Nordo. Yesterday, your Minnesota Vikings took wide receiver Jordan Addison, okay?
Okay.
A lot of people thought, if and we were, you and I were on the same path, if Anthony Richardson can get past pick 5, which at one point, Will Levis was minus 650 to go to the Colts at pick 4. Okay, didn't happen. But Richardson goes, all right, well, let's change our focus. Let's go corner. Let's go something. Here's the thing about the pick and how a lot of people are going, man, I can't believe they took that player. I can't believe they took a guy like that. I can't believe that they took a wide receiver when all we need is defense.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. What happened to us last night is this is the analogy I'm going to use, and I'm going to stick to it. We've all seen the movie Christmas Vacation, right? You know, the final 15 minutes of the movie where all hell breaks loose. The tree burns down, the dinner's terrible, everything is bad about it. But Chevy Chase decides we're going to go out after our tree burns down on Christmas Eve. And what are we going to do? We're going to get a new Christmas tree. It's not necessary, but the next day you'll love it. That's what we did last night. They needed everything else but a Christmas tree, but they got a Christmas tree with Jordan Addison. They didn't need a wide receiver. They have so many picks, other defensive picks, defensive tackle. There were multiple names your guy mentioned yesterday. You've talked about it. Jordan Addison, I think, is a great pick. Right now, if we were sitting here and Jordan Addison catches 5 or 6 touchdowns for the Minnesota Vikings and is in the running for Rookie of the Year, who cares who they passed on? You know what I mean? Like, they didn't. That's the problem where all these Vikings fans that are mad is we need a defense. They didn't take the 5th tight end. They didn't take the 4th right guard. They took a guy who a lot of people think is the best wide receiver in the draft. They took a guy who's an incredible route runner, who is a perfect complement to Justin Jefferson, who will most likely see single coverage every time he's on the field because of Hawkinson and Justin Jefferson. I think it was a luxury pick, and I think the fans are mad because teams that I think the Vikings, you could argue, are a fraudulent 13-4. It was all because of offense. The defense was just they aren't a 13-4 team you'd expect, right? We're like they're a player or two away. They aren't. But they got lucky in a lot of games, and a lot of the teams they played fell apart. But Jordan Addison, a year from now, I think will be a very good pick.
He's a Christmas tree.
But you know what my point, though, is like they need everything else.
I know what you mean.
But we replaced...
I'm giving you crap about the Christmas tree analogy.
But we lost Adam Thielen.
Yes.
We didn't need Adam. We didn't need that.
Did you notice how many times it's been noted, whether it was immediately last night during media availability for Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, and then whether it was 9 to noon today when both of them joined, how much they stressed separation and route running?
Yeah.
I mean, Adam's been fantastic for this team, and he went through a stretch. I think he had 22 touchdowns in 2 seasons in the red zone alone. And I'm rooting for him.
I love Adam.
To hell and back. I love him too. I'm rooting for him with Bryce Young and the Panthers. But so I look at Jordan Addison in a vacuum, just on its own as a player. I think we got a hell of a lot better yesterday. I'm excited to have Jordan Addison on the team, man. I mean, again, that separation in the route running, and you watch the way that he plays, and he is so slippery smooth, man.
He's great.
And
he's very good.
He is a terrific yin to Jefferson's yang, or vice versa. And that is certainly, and again, it's a similar concept. Justin Jefferson's 2022 did not truly lift off until Hawkinson rolls into the mix, and suddenly it's like, what's up with this? Like, he's nails at the sticks every single time, except maybe the final play of the season. But he is suddenly this elite secondary target, high-end second target, I should say, and that was opening things up specifically over the middle for Justin to catch and go. You're hoping that this provides an even greater opportunity for JJ to find single coverage, mixing them up. The importance of not only JJ being able to play every wide receiver spot, but Addison being able to play every single wide receiver spot, KJ Osborne being able to play every single wide receiver spot. So now you're providing different looks all the time. And so in a vacuum, singularly, this is great for the Vikings offense.
Great. I agree.
I'm from minute one, when we weren't able to trade up, I'm thinking, okay, so we're going to now immediately try and start that process of trickling backwards.
Yep.
But specifically when you saw Levis and Hooker start to fall, the value for a team, like we just saw the Titans move up from, I think it was 41 to 33. They grabbed Will
correct.
Levis, right?
Yep.
So the value for a team picking early day 2 to jump up 8 or 9 picks to get to 23 for a Will Levis, it started to feel very obvious that was not going to be worth a team's while. And then you started to think about, well, all the teams that pick after the Vikings in round 1 yesterday, none of them really need quarterbacks. So if a quarterback is at 23, the Vikings are either going to take him or he's probably going to fall to Friday.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
And I will say this. The Vikings make it clearly the intel or how we perceived a Will Levis or a Hendon Hooker. I'm actually quite happy that if the Vikings weren't able to trade up and go after Richardson or somebody they really had a conviction about, I am happy that ultimately they did not just go, well, he's here.
He's here.
So we'll take him.
We'll put up with all the things that we've heard. Yeah.
So I'm good with that. That they actually, in some ways, it sounds weird. By staying, they took a stand on Levis and Hooker, and they said, no, we're going to move on and address something else. Our best 2 pass rushers are both pissed about their contracts. One has already been, he's asked to be released. The other one's more fresh and recent with Danielle Hunter. So.
And he makes nothing for who he is.
Our favorite safety, Harrison Smith, is very much near the end of a fantastic career. He's on a 1-year compromising deal.
It's over, yeah. This is it.
Yeah. Lewis Seen, who wasn't even, I want to make this clear, he was not close to being a starting safety. Lewis Seen. I like the guy, and I'm rooting for him. He's our guy.
Yeah, great dude. I've met him a couple of times.
He was not close to starting at safety in 2022. Now, add that to a devastating injury. Bones broken, things sticking out, weird. Ugh. It is awful.
Rosie laughing.
So he has to climb that mountain combined with hopefully a year of soaking in sponge work, classroom work, and all the things that he can evolve into that spot. Dean Lowry, Marcus Davenport, we'll see. Byron Murphy, good pickup. Our best free agency acquisition, I said this a month or so ago now, is really Brian Flores, right? So you have to trust in that scheme. I love that Mozzie Smith cat from Michigan.
Yeah, and everybody
love Brian Brzee out of Clemson. So for anybody that's sitting here today going, man, we should have taken a corner. Again, Joey Porter Jr. going today is proof of the depth of the cornerback class. The depth of it shows you that you're pushing talented individuals farther back in the draft because a lot of teams are making the decision. We can wait on this. There's still going to be good bodies out there. Cam Smith's still out there, Keely Ringo. There's a bunch of guys. I needed a D tackle in that spot. That is the quickest way to instantly improve this defense and solidify and maybe put a stamp on our next version of Chris Jones. And I've said that many times, our version of a great interior pass rushing 3-technique type defensive lineman. So when Addison, and again, I'm going to root for Addison, love Addison's game. We got better yesterday with that pick. I was super disappointed right out of the bat. Now, moving forward, okay, I'm not going to sulk about it for 4 or 5 days. I don't believe that was the right decision in the spot.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean we're not going to win a bunch because of Jordan Addison. So I'm kind of living in 2 worlds here. Super excited about Jordan because he's an awesome player. Really disappointed because I think we should have gone with a defensive lineman in that spot yesterday.
Yeah. The other thing, too, though, that I noticed yesterday when the pick went, and a lot of people, I think the other thing that we thought with the draft is that would not have been what we would have taken. That if we were going to stay at 23 and they can say what they want, they took it all the way down to the wire. I thought we were going to have a Kevin Williams 20-year anniversary bid again. That didn't happen. But I think they tried to get somebody. I've heard Kansas City called, and they wouldn't give them what they wanted. And then I think the Bills were another team that wanted to get in front of whoever they got in front of to take Dalton Kincaid, the tight end from Utah.
They traded with Jacksonville.
Point, though, is I don't think anybody bit because I think they may have either asked for too much or they just didn't get what they thought would be enough. And I think if they went back to 31, I think they lose out on Addison. because I think if Addison were there, I think the Giants would have taken him right behind him.
Could have been the Giants, could have been the Jags.
Correct.
Or somebody.
Yeah.
Although, excuse me, though, the Jaguars, I think, just got Calvin Ridley.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they're less apt to take a wide receiver, probably.
It could have been Kansas City. Kansas City could have come up to whatever. It is what it is.
Right.
But the telling point.
Addison's gone by then, yeah.
Yeah. The telling point, and something I want to get your take on this is when they made the pick, they came back. You guys came back from break. Everybody had their opinion on it. PA said, we're going to go to Kwesi or Kevin O'Connell, but they need, and then he paused or somebody told him, hey, it's going to be 80 or 90 minutes.
Yeah, they wanted to wait until the conclusion of the first round. Right?
I think they were trying to move back up. Who that's for, I don't know. I think they just thought there may be an opportunity where we could maybe get up back to maybe 31. You could package, like we heard from your guy, maybe package a player or two and get back up into this thing and get two guys in the top 32. Your thoughts?
I think that the way Kwesi operates, he's always trying to make deals.
Yeah.
So I without being able to confirm that, I guess that would be a really real hypothetical to me. Now, what that looks like, again, look at our picks right now. We have a 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th rounder, 87, 119, 158, and 211. It's incredibly unrealistic to think that you could have jumped back into the first, even if you had packaged those 4.
Yeah.
And so what would that have included? So I'm glad you mentioned.
Well, next year's, you could have given that up.
Well, so we got to stop leveraging future assets at one point. As we sit here today, and you and I were talking about it before the show, I'm not mad that we don't have a second because that second is actually on our team, and he's a pretty damn good tight end in TJ Hawkinson. So I'm not mad about that. At some point, we have to stop leveraging future. And at this stage of what were we going to go back in for? That's what maybe a Brian Brzee, maybe one of these defensive tackles,
maybe a corner, yeah.
And so, but leveraging how many picks to get there. If it's in this year's draft, I can understand it. But now if we're starting to talk, what are we going to give up next year's 3rd? Or are we going to start playing that game? That starts to get ugly and it starts to get expensive. So, at one point, moving back a few spots even within the first round, I can't remember. Who were the two teams that flipped? It was the Bears and Philly.
Bears and Philly to get Jalen Carter.
And that was super cheap. It was like a 4th rounder.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that Philly's like, are you taking this guy? No. Well, we want to take him.
We'll give you a 4th round pick.
All right, perfect.
Sure, yeah.
Sweet. And then it worked out. But how much would that cost? And would it cost? And now are we talking like, can we get Sedarius in the mix? Can we, Dalvin? Trying to unload salary cap. I mean, I don't even think we have enough money to sign our rookie class right now.
Right.
So,
that's the other thing. And, we're on till 7:30. That's the other thing I was going to ask you is something has to be done. They have the lowest amount of cap space, and I think it's under $2 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they don't have the money to sign Jordan Addison. They'll get the money. That's not the issue. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm torn without the 2nd round pick because, as you and I said off the air when we were going through all the notes that I wrote for you to go over, if we were
very in depth as always, by the way. Yes.
Thank you. If we were sitting here right now and Max goes, hey guys, something's breaking, and we all looked up at the TV and it said the Minnesota Vikings are trading pick 55, it would be 50.
Sure, something like that. It
would probably be different because whatever. The Vikings have acquired TJ Hawkinson. You and I would go ballistic.
It'd be awesome.
The fans would be pumped.
Yeah, just like we were a year ago when we did it. Yes.
Correct. The thing, though, is that now it would be super handy. But you're just going to wait till pick 87? Like, that's the thing that's so weird about it is, like, this team they need another corner. They need probably a couple defensive linemen.
Yeah.
They need multiple things. But we're going to wait 47 more picks? That's my issue.
Yeah.
That's what I don't quite understand is I don't know how much longer they can wait, but if they get guys that can contribute right away, who cares if they got them at 37 or 87?
Yeah, and back to what we were talking about earlier, we just kind of throw out the idea, naturally we'll move back and get more picks. Leading up to the draft.
You got to find a dance partner.
Do you think Do you think Kwesi's going to move up? Is he going to stay, or is he going to trade back? And most people were generally, I think, not in pure consensus, but the idea was they're going to trade back and get more picks. Whether that was a positive or negative thought in that person's head. But you got to find somebody to do it with. And the way that the draft was falling, again, the depth of corners. A guy getting a Joey Porter Jr. with the first pick of the second round, that wasn't even in anybody's head 36 hours ago. Not to mention the precipitous downfall of a Will Levis throughout the first round of the draft. And whether it's his age or whatever it was, people were so unconcerned even with our fascination now with the fifth-year option. No one cared about that. We'll get him when he's available. And the Titans, by all accounts, they gave up next year's third, I think, and swapped thirds with, was it Arizona, I believe?
Yeah.
To make that trade to move up. So they were willing to wait until day 2. But because of those things, that made it less apt and available that a team was like, man, I'm going to give you an extra second-round pick to jump back into the first. Because teams have been willing to wait. They've been patient. And now, so far, even in the second round, they're getting paid off by all accounts with generally good talent. So we weren't able to do that. So now we're in the patience game. And I would imagine, as we're sitting here, again, 6:30 to 7:30, and then pregame for the Wild and puck drop, game 6.
Can't wait.
Season's on the line.
Can't wait.
Let's go.
I'm going to go home and...
We're all going to be... I'm going to be eating Savoy pizza, by the way, red Savoy pizza, which brings you KFAN draft coverage. You use the code DRAFT online checkout when you order a large pizza, and you get a free appetizer. So, again, SavoyPizza.com, awesome partner, awesome pizza. I'm stuffing my face with it during the breaks right now. Hopefully Zach turns the camera off so you don't have to see that horror show. But with after pick 87, you got 119, 158, 211. Even if you throw all three of those together, you think you're going to get yourself back into day 2? I have a hard time believing that. So at this stage, and I think it was Kwesi, was it this morning with PA and Charge, or it was the presser last night. He kind of framed it up, and Kwesi's very good at wording his way through things.
Yeah.
The efficiency of the picks. So the importance of it now, and the importance of it with this team, similar conversation, and we're in a tough spot currency-wise, is 87's got to be a home run, whatever the hell that is. And between now and 7:30, we can bring up some names, some people we like, positions. You nailed it, D-line, corners in the mix. One thing we haven't talked about, let's continue to throw big bodies at this offensive line until we finally get a starting 5 that works.
That would be great.
And our quarterback stays upright,
that.
Right?
I mean, yeah.
So it's things like that sort of a conversation. I think we need a linebacker in this mix. And then I also think we should probably still take a peek at a quarterback.
Same.
Always be drafting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
ABQ. That's like the alphabet, I think.
Yeah, I was
listening. There are a lot of things we have to do, and it feels like a perpetual thing where we don't have currency in the right spots to do it. But it will be a patience game tonight. So somewhere around the second period of the Wild game, when the Wild are up 2-rip on the Dallas Stars, the Vikings will finally have another selection. Looking forward to that.
The Green Bay Packers pick next. The Cardinals pick is in. We will get to all that, and I will ask Nordo to give me a round in which he would be okay with the Vikings taking a quarterback. It's draft coverage. It's Meatsauce, it's Nordo, it's Maxo. Will Levis, if you're listening, if you're on your way down to the Wild game, Will Levis went 33rd overall. The Lions took a tight end. The Raiders took a tight end. A couple of guards have gone. A couple of offensive tackles and some edge guys have gone. But the Packers are 2 picks away. We'll get you that. And if anything happens between now and 7:30 with your favorite team, we will let you know. It's draft coverage with Meatsauce, Nordo, and Max right here on The Fan.
This is coverage of the NFL Draft on The Fan, presented by Red Savoy Pizza.
Keep your cars, ATVs, boats, RVs, and more protected with Versatube Building Systems and get 11% off today. Versatube offers a huge variety of metal carports, shelters, and buildings. Installation is quick and easy thanks to Slip Fit Connections. Get a 10 by 16-foot ATV shelter for just $999.99 after 11% off. Good through April 30th, savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards. Stained is coming to Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Blending rock and metal, the group catapulted onto the scene with hits like Outside, Right Here, and Fade. You can hear these and more when they rock Treasure Island Amphitheater on Saturday, September 9th. Get your tickets now at TICasino.com.
I'm here with Richard from White Bear Mitsubishi. I got to work today with no gas.
Yeah, you just used electric mode on your new plug-in hybrid.
I love it.
Yeah, and other people can love it too. You can save up to $10,000 when you lease one from just $349 a month.
Other than leasing, no better time to buy a car.
Yeah, right now we have finance rates as low as 0% financing for 36 months and 2.9 for 60 months. And we have 3 different SUVs starting under $300 a month and brand new cars starting at just $199 a month. And they all include our free lifetime warranty.
Check it out at whitebearmitsubishi.com. See the White Bear for details.
A Mother's Day gift from Shane Company will make her day, whether you spend a little or a lot. Visit us for beautiful fine jewelry made with love and care.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Hi, Mark Rosen, and this programming is supported by Flint Hills Resources, which is looking for innovators to join the team with open roles in engineering, environmental science, construction services, and field operations. Flint Hills Resources operates the world-class Pine Bend Refinery in Rosemount. The Pine Bend Refinery makes the fuels we use every day, even the jet fuel used at the airport. Explore all the exciting opportunities at Pine Bend Refinery at FHR.com/careers. Flint Hills Resources, 65 years in Dakota County.
Moving is stressful, but setting up your internet shouldn't be. There's never been a better time to cut the cable and switch to Verizon Home Internet. Fast and reliable enough to power your whole home. And there are no annual contracts, no hidden fees, and no surprise price hikes. And with our easy self-setup, you and your entire family can connect in minutes. It's simple. No messy wires, just plug it in. So you can be working, streaming, and gaming before the moving truck even arrives. Now, when you switch to a 5G Home Plus plan, get $200 to the Home Depot. So give your new home what it needs to get up and running. The easiest part of moving is switching to Verizon Home Internet. Cut the cable today. Offer valid through 6/14/23. Must activate and maintain 5G Home Plus. Gift card registration required. Other terms and conditions apply. Visit Verizon.com/home to learn more.
I want to break free.
Ready to break free, Minneapolis? This summer, take your dream vacation with Norwegian Cruise Line to Alaska, Europe, and more. Book today and get 35% off all cruises. Plus, enjoy free airfare for second guest, free unlimited open bar, free specialty dining, and more. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Offer ends soon, Minneapolis. Norwegian Cruise Line. Feel free. Ships registry the Bahamas and USA. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Guardsy. Everything's changing so fast these days, and that's a great thing. Back in our day, we were lucky if we could get one video to load on our desktop computer. But now there's the Xfinity 10G network. That means the fastest internet with faster speeds rolling out every day, and internet that can power a house full of devices at once with ultra-low lag. So while one person streams a movie from their room, another can play video games in the basement while another TikToks in the kitchen. It's the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Now through June 21st, new customers can get started with gig internet on the Xfinity 10G network. Plus, get X-Fi Complete with unlimited data and Wi-Fi equipment included, all for just $30 a month for 2 years with no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet after promo. Regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig internet and X-Fi gateway. Actual speeds vary.
It's time for the Acme Tools Spring Tool Sale this Friday and Saturday. Save 12% on your favorite power tools, machinery, and accessories from over 100 of the world's best brands. Talk shop with factory reps and try before you buy. Take advantage of our daily doorbuster deals and register to win a prize package from Ego, valued at $478. Don't miss the Spring Tool Sale this Friday and Saturday only at Acme Tools, 494 and Rockford Road, Plymouth. Do your best work.
The Wild hope to extend their season as they host the Stars tonight in Game 6 of the NHL playoffs. Hear it live on iHeartRadio and FM 100.3. KFXN Minneapolis, St. Paul.
The Fan.
Welcome back. It is draft coverage right here on The Fan until 7:30. Fallness, all his buddies take over at 7:30 for the pre to the pre for the Wild game.
This show, by the way, is brought to you by Red Savoy Pizza. Many locations throughout the metro. Go to savoypizza.com. And again, use the code DRAFT at online checkout when you order a large pizza, and you get a free appetizer as part of it. Grab some cheese bread. It's delicious.
We've had some picks go by, Nordo, and we had one in the division. Give it to us.
Yeah, 11th selection of the second round, 42nd overall. It's a deep draft in the world of tight ends, and the Green Bay Packers have now found one. Luke Musgrave of Oregon State. The Beavers coming to Green Bay. They lost Robert Tonyan.
Yeah,
I believe they did.
Tonyan was. Remember when Tonyan, fantasy-wise, was supposed to be the next thing, and then I think he got hurt?
Yeah, he tore his ACL.
Yeah, but the Green Bay Packers take a tight end, and I'm sure Carl will tweet how it's the greatest pick of all time.
Well, I'm just pulling it up here. And
CBSSports.com and whatever. I love draft grades. You don't have to. Gives it a C+, says, quote, he's a one-trick pony.
Okay, well, he's going to be Jordan Love's one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Speaking of one-trick ponies, the skill sets, well, just the skill positions, I should say. A little bit of a dearth of talent. They got Christian Watson, who came on strong at the end of the year with Rodgers. But their tight ends now will be Tyler Davis, Austin Allen, Josiah DeGuara, and then this Musgrave cat. Their wide receivers after Watson, Romeo Doubs, Samori Toure, Jeff Cotton, and Mo Belton. Or Bo Melton, I should say.
Who?
Correct, yes. So, and who'd they pick yesterday?
They took Lucas Van Ness.
Yeah, so they adding to the pass rush. It's going to be a tough season for Jordan, man. Tough season for the Packers in general.
The Packers' former quarterback just got some protection with Joe Tippmann, the center out of Wisconsin.
Yeah, the thing for me, so again, what we were talking about last segment, where we only have so many picks, we got a lot of places to peek at here in terms of holes to fill.
That guy running great.
We got a wide receiver. There were three guys, and two of them, Steve Avila from TCU, he went early.
He's gone, yeah.
And he went to the Rams. And then now Tippmann, the Badger, goes here to the Jets. And John Michael Schmitz. Those were kind of the three guys.
I would have taken any of them.
And I know we re-upped Garrett Bradbury, so we're going to root for him. 3 years, $15 million. I just feel like that just hasn't been good enough.
As you like to say, because you and I can say this, we need a fat body.
We need a fat body.
We need like a 315-pound guy with just as your guy Mike Mayock would say, a big bubble butt.
Oh, yeah.
Who can just anchor and stand there in front of Kenny Clark, in front of all these guys that are coming into this division, and just anchor that middle of that O-line. What's the best way to beat?
You sound like me talking to myself in the mirror every day.
Yeah. What's the best way to beat the best quarterback of all time, Tom Brady? Pressure up the middle.
At his feet.
What's the Mike Zimmer bit? The double A gap blitz.
Yeah.
We need a fat body.
You know what's weird? So to the exception to that rule, Jason Kelce, he plays at about 282, 284-ish. I mean, that's
all upper body, though.
It's the same size as Bradbury.
It's all upper body,
and Kelce just murders people.
Kelce's a monster.
He's future HOF, clearly.
Yeah.
But Bradbury, a guy, he put like 36 reps up on the bench press, and we're all in awe of his strength and all the physicals. Again, just a combine king. It hasn't been that way. And it's not just about being sacked the most in the NFL, being hit the most a year ago in Kirk Cousins. How long has it been since we can confidently, even with Dalvin back there, and maybe this is part of the shoulder injury issues he's had too. When's the last time we felt confident about winning a 3rd and 1? On the ground, just up the middle and get it done.
We were awful at that last year.
Ed Ingram wasn't tough enough in big spots. Garrett Bradbury hasn't been tough in those types of moments basically his entire career in Minnesota. So we got him at a value. I think the 3 and 15 feels about right price-wise, so we'll take it. But I think, and again, just all the things we need to do and all the picks we don't have, I would have loved a Joe Tippmann, John Michael Schmitz. You're seeing more O-linemen coming into the league now with guard center flexibility. We just need to be so much tougher up there. And then that would bleed into the quarterback conversation as well.
The Colts are now on the clock. And then the Packers, again, the pick they got. No, I think this pick is their pick. The 42nd pick was the Jets pick. So the Packers have 2 quick picks here. They're going to reload their team. Nordo, I'm going to ask you a couple of quick fire questions. Okay?
Yeah, quick fire.
You just give me your answer. Training camp, 4 months from probably right now, right?
Yes.
Is Dalvin Cook on the team?
No.
4 months from now, is Zadarius Smith on the team?
No.
Is Danielle Hunter on the team?
Yes.
If the Vikings...
You know what I want to do? God bless Zadarius Smith. He agreed to that money.
Yeah.
I hope somebody just brings that up once in a while when we're talking about adults and you get to make decisions. He agreed to this contract. What kind of responsibility does he have in this thing? Asking to be released, deleting social media bits, throwing fits, not being on the plane to Chicago, selling his house. Well, maybe, person has the right to sell their house. Certainly.
Yeah, right.
But he asked to be released. You knew what you were getting into. Oh, by the way, I think all but one half of your sack was in the first 10 games of the season, bud.
And the most jacked up you were was the games we played the Pack.
Correct. Which makes sense in some ways.
Yeah.
But again, kind of disappeared for half the season.
Yeah.
And you had knee issues and these sorts of things, which was kind of part of the vibe with the contract, is there was a concern. You only played one game in 2021 and you had a back issue. And then this year, you come in, you ball out, and then balky knee, Sam Bradford style, you're not the same for the rest of the year. So it's really disappointing. And if the Vikings choose to move on, they can save, I think, $12 million or so on the cap. That's if they just straight up cut him. And they can maybe use some of that 12 and give it to Danielle.
Right.
Because Danielle, regardless of what you think of him and how bad he looked at times, you just can't have him out covering people. How about that? Just simply enough, let's make Danielle a pass rusher. Let's not make him try to cover people. That's ridiculous. And get him back to what he does. Give him another $7 or $8 million, and let's make 9-9 happy.
Another thing, we saw it. We were told
that wasn't very quick fire.
No, but that's fine. That's why I like you. We were told this is a kind of quick fire, but I need you to answer this.
Okay.
We were told there were a couple of quarterbacks yesterday that they would go after. Obviously, if Bryce Young got anywhere, but he didn't. I think there was real Anthony Richardson's team that if he got past the 4th pick, I think that was real. I think they might have gone into the top 10 for him had he gotten to the right spot, right?
Sure.
He didn't. It's over with. Does that mean that the Minnesota Vikings are no longer in the position to find Kirk Cousins' successor early in this draft? And by early, I mean the 2nd or 3rd round now at this point. Are we? It's a 2-part question.
We're not finding his successor in this draft.
So does that mean then that Kirk Cousins is going to be the quarterback for the foreseeable future, the next 3 or 4 years?
It also doesn't mean that.
So what does that mean then?
It means we're in QB purgatory? I have no idea.
Again, which is fine because as you and I talked about on our draft bit on Wednesday, we've been in that. By the way, the Packers traded the 45th pick in division to the Detroit Lions. This could be the Hendon Hooker spot.
See, they're running a road game on us right here. They're ganging up on us, just picks galore.
The division was...
they're bored with us.
The division, this is what happens, and these are more of my bad analogies.
Okay.
The Packers and the Lions shanked a few balls into the woods with their first picks. Now they're like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
I'm a 2 handicap. Yeah, here
Correct.
we go. That's what's happening.
Yeah,
they're showing off at this point.
The Packers let the Lions use a foot wedge.
Yeah.
They make us drop and tally the stroke.
Correct. Yeah, correct. It's winter rules. You know what I mean? But so
with this quarterback thing
is weird. The quarterback thing is weird because all the offseason stuff is real. They didn't offer him a contract. His team has come back with a contract. They said no. Your guy talked about it yesterday, which because how much the draft is and how busy we all are doing the things we do at the draft yesterday feels like a week ago. But what happens if they go back to him and he says, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to go to somebody who picked in the top 10,
Yeah.
who didn't need a quarterback, I might go to the Lions if the Jared Goff thing. I'm just throwing things out here. I could go.
I think he is in the final year or two of his deal.
Correct.
So,
I could go to the Jets if this is a one and done thing with Rodgers. I could go back to the Commanders, who will have a new owner and make $50 million a year for 3 seasons, get $150 million guaranteed again, play till he's 38, and call it a career. He doesn't have to say yes. He doesn't. He has the money to live anywhere in the entire world. He can go anywhere he wants. There are teams that would take him. That's the issue now. If they go back to him and go, we were kidding. We had no interest in Anthony Richardson. We knew the other two weren't going to get to us. Obviously, sir, we didn't take Levis at 23. We've yet to move up to take Hendon Hooker, who is still available. But what do you do?
I don't know what the hell you do.
Right.
Because now you're in a spot where potentially, because you're going to have picks next year and you're going to have.
But you're not going to be in the top 5. This team is too good to pick in the top 5 unless
they go all in.
And nobody, unless there's a few catastrophic injuries.
By the way, I will say this year's draft, Bryce Young might turn out to be fantastic.
Yeah.
But you're always going to reference his height when you talk about Bryce Young. Anthony Richardson could end up being great. We were championing the idea of let's take a swing. If we're going to take a swing, he's one of those guys.
I think him going to the Colts, that's a bad spot for him.
Maybe.
Because he's got to play right away. They have no other option.
Shane Steichen, though, has experience working with a QB that needed to
for a while.
Tune the throwing with the running, etc.
Yeah.
But he has that experience, that's all I'm saying. But limitations, right? Eventually, Richardson has to be a passer. That's something that has to improve. Stroud, everyone is talking about Stroud like he's the next Cardale Jones, and he's just the dumbest human being ever.
Stupid.
But he was very good, so I root for him too to have some success. My point is that you're not talking about Caleb Williams like that. People aren't going into the draft next year going, I don't really like his height. I don't really like his arm.
He's a stud.
I don't like his mobility. Now I'm not referencing like he's not the next Andrew Luck.
Let's go to the podium and get the Lions pick. Max, so when the commissioner, whoever it is, walks up to do it, let us know and just pot it up and we'll stop talking. But the Lions moved up, I think, from 48 to 46. I don't know. We haven't seen any of the bits yet, but they have traded with the Packers to get the 45th overall pick.
The Packers have traded the 45th pick to the Detroit Lions.
Is this a quarterback?
With the 45th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Brian Branch, defensive back.
Come on. Like another, and good. Here we go with the Power Trip Bet's favorite part where we're losing our minds.
This is stupid.
Good for Brian Branch to stay there and walk up and get everything that he deserves by shaking hands with. Good for him.
That's what adults do. Yes.
Correct. Who didn't? Will Levis. Will Levis ran away. Now, so did Joey Porter Jr., but good for Brian Branch to stay there.
So did 20 other people, but good for Brian Branch.
But how many of them were actually left? I don't think it was many.
Delayed.
But good for Brian Branch to stay there, walk up on the podium and shake the hands of the commissioner. But come on. Other than the linebacker from Iowa pick, which is weird, Brian Branch is a monster. Brian Branch is an absolute stud.
Yeah, he's going to be a very good player.
Yeah.
Putting a bow on the QB thing, though, I just think if you go into if you can't, Kirk could re-up tomorrow for all we know.
Yeah.
And all of that, and then everything's fine. And so I'm not against, I'm not throwing that possibility out. But to get the stiff arm on a potentially discounted deal says a lot. And the Vikings, they're just where this franchise is with the combination of a dearth of talent, trying to shed cap, all the while trying to remain competitive, is a tricky and risky proposition where one way or another, something's going to fall out of this mix. And that could potentially a year from now put us in a very uncomfortable spot where we are potentially leveraging several drafts to get up into the Caleb Williams sweepstakes.
The Lions and Packers have made a couple of picks.
Yeah, they're getting all
the Packers
players
took
we wanted.
Luke Musgrave, the tight end from Oregon State. They had the 45th pick. They traded with the Lions. The Lions took safety Brian Branch out of Alabama. They also took Sam Laporta, a tight end from Iowa. They have 2 picks. The Packers have multiple picks. The Packers pick again at 48. We're at pick 46. We'll wrap this up when we come back. It's draft coverage with Nordo, Sauce, and Max right here on The Fan.
This is coverage of the NFL Draft on The Fan, presented by Red Savoy Pizza.
Hey, it's Chris Hockey. Trust is so important and so hard to find these days, and that's why I love the guys at Builders and Remodelers. When you're investing in new windows, you need to trust that the company you choose is providing the best quality products at the best price. At Builders and Remodelers, it's not just a sales pitch when they say they have the best windows, because they do, and you can be confident you'll get the best deal as well. And right now, you buy 2, you get a 3rd window at no additional cost. Plus, get no interest financing for 36 months when qualified. Go to buildersandremodelers.com. Nobody does it better.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Distracted driving ruins hopes, dreams, futures, potential, careers, opportunities. Distracted driving could ruin lives. Drive smart.
Extra enforcement now on Minnesota roads. A message from the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order, like our limited-time Smokehouse Barbecue Cheddar Pub Burger. We know you'll love it.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious. To everyone who craves a handcrafted treat, let our team member Sephora tell you about a Culver's favorite.
We make our thick and creamy fresh frozen custard in small batches all throughout the day. And we mean all day, every day. From our supremely rich shakes and concrete mixers to our freshly scooped dishes and cones, we handcraft every bite to pure perfection. Making you a sweet treat with care is the best part of my day.
Come to Culver's and get a taste of our fresh frozen custard. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
It's your last chance to shop SpringFest savings at Lowe's. Need a new appliance? Get an additional $300 off select major kitchen appliances when you spend $1,996 or more. You can also save across the entire store, including our garden area, and get 2 Bonnie 9-pack vegetables for $10. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 5/3. Bonnie offer in-store only and excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Helzberg Diamonds presents The Guy Who Did His Homework. When it came to Jill's engagement ring, Brady knew exactly what to get.
Okay, so I came up with a design and showed it to all of our friends.
She'll love it.
Then he went to Helzberg. Their incredible selection of high-quality, lab-grown, and natural diamonds made creating that special ring easy. Her reaction?
I love it. Can't wait to tell everybody.
Everybody might know about it.
Be like Brady. Create the ring of your dreams at a Helzberg near you or at Helzberg.com. Ask now about special financing offers.
Hey, my name's Chris. I work at Waste Management in Blaine. I'm a technician up there. What I like most about my job is a constant change of work, always learning something new, fun group of people, and I think just overall job security.
Start a career at Waste Management today. Go to careers.wm.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Back to draft coverage on The Fan, presented by Red Savoy Pizza.
Final segment for Nordo and I. Wild Fan Line games, or Wild. Sorry. Wild Fan Line is tonight. But
yes, it is.
We have the Wild pregame in about 10 minutes. Fallness will lead that. He'll be the lead vocals on that. That is 10 minutes from now. And then, of course, Game 6, I think, tips off about 8:45. So we have that Wild Stars. Stars lead 3-2. It's a must-win for your Wild. Nordo, as we wrap up here.
Yeah.
You told me before we started, you had a couple of names you would like to see at pick 87. Give it to me.
Yeah, I'm throwing these out here at this point. So Cam Smith, the South Carolina corner, he's one of 15 different guys that have been, at one point, talked about in the first round. He's still out there, and he's going to be there for a while. Keely Ringo's still available. So
from Georgia, yeah.
If we are going to go defense, we're going to take a corner. There's this, and I'm going to mispronounce his name most likely, but there's this USC DN, might as well just stay with the Trojans. Tuli Tuipulotu.
Yep.
And he's 6'3", 266. Not the biggest dude in terms of if he's lining up inside and as a 3-4 DN, but he's strong as bleep, gets in the backfield, holds blocks really well. So Tuli Tuipulotu. Don't order your jersey yet, but keep it in mind. And then Drew Sanders. I don't know where he's going to go. This is Arkansas linebacker. And again, we're 40 freaking picks away.
No, we're not, Nordo. We're 39.
Oh, okay. Time flies. And then Drew Sanders, he's an Arkansas inside linebacker.
I like Drew Sanders.
He's really good,
Yeah,
and he's versatile, and he's the type of player, if you look at Brian Flores' defense. So Brian Flores wasn't all meat and potato guys. He walked in and he got rid of Minkah Fitzpatrick, gets the draft pick. But then he does have Xavier Howard. He does go out and get the highest paid corner in that free agency period, Byron Jones, who's kind of drifted off but was the lead at the time. You have Christian Wilkins, Emmanuel Ogbah. Like, they had some badasses on that defense, and the Vikings need some of them. Hey, how about that? 740 The Fan.
Yeah.
Bison go crazy. Cody Mock.
Dov's
North Dakota
player.
State. Oh, Dov?
Yeah, Dov loves Cody Mock.
Your brother just won't shut the hell up about how much he loves North Dakota State.
He loves it. That's his guy.
NDSU, hey, congratulations.
That's sweet, dude.
Whether it was Christian Watson a year ago, it's Mock this year, you're a football factory is what you are. And so congratulations to Cody. He's a Buck.
Good for him, man.
Good for the Vikings. Pick 87.
Quickly, Wild pregame starts in about 7 minutes. Nordo, if pick 87 is a quarterback, what's your reaction?
I'd be excited about
it. Same.
We have to solve that problem.
We have to.
So if that's Hendon Hooker, if it's that Dorian Thompson Robinson cat from
or the
UCLA,
Fresno State kid,
that's probably a little early for DRT or DTR, whichever one it is. But yeah, we need to find a quarterback because this Kirk Cousins situation is weird, and I'm uncomfortable about it.
The Vikings took Jordan Addison at pick 23 in the first round. There's all kinds of great stuff on KFAN.com about him, Vikings.com, all that stuff.
Thank you, Red Savoy Pizza, as always.
We are back tomorrow, noon to 3, excuse me. Bye.
KFAN Total Traffic.
From the Quick Trip